We had to cut out of that package because there's an important breaking news, and this concerns our Olympic gold medalist wrestlers. They have now issued a big threat because there is no answering the claims that they are making. Nobody is ready to listen to them. Now they are claiming that they are going to be throwing their medals, the Olympic medals, into the Ganges. This is what is coming from the wrestlers, probably a last resort because nobody seems to be listening to their argument. Even their site of protest has been cleared by the Delhi police. Several of those were detained on the day the new Parliament building was being inaugurated by the Prime Minister. The wrestlers had to lose not just their site of protest, but also had been detained by the Delhi police. Now we are getting to understand that several of the wrestlers have in fact issued very emotional appeals for the government to listen to them, considering they have been sitting in that protest site for over a month now, more than that, and now they have issued a claim that they are going to be throwing their medals in the Ganges. Let me actually bring in Nikhil. Nikhil, what has brought this about, considering now there is no protest site for the wrestlers to even protest at? Very emotional appeal. Now they are even planning to throw their medals. Is there going to be any response from the authorities?
Well, this is the shocking update which is now coming out of the wrestlers, and we have seen that how the pictures were out on the day when the new Parliament building was being inaugurated by the government of India. At that time as well, they were sitting there peacefully, but at the same time, the wrestlers had decided that they are going to hold this Mahila Mahapanchayat right outside the new Parliament building. But this is something which was not allowed by the Delhi police, and after which we have seen that how they were dragged, they were beaten as well by the Delhi police in the view of safety and security, and it is something which has also been officially called in by the Delhi police that they are not going to allow the protesters, the wrestlers, so to say, to again sit in at the site of the Jantar Mantar, and the Delhi police is ready to give them another place. So now, after all these developments, we are going to see that wrestlers have issued this particular statement saying that they are going to put their medals in the holy river Ganga. They also thought that the scenes which broke out on 28th of May when the new Parliament building was inaugurated, many of the people have offered their support. They have extended their support not just on social media but in person as well. So it makes them feel that the medals are of no use because their voices had gone unheard of initially, and this is something which is part of their statement as well. They are saying that initially they thought who exactly is to return this particular medal. But
yes, Nikhil, I request you to stay on with us. I'm really sorry to interrupt you. We also know that Bajrang Punia has also made an emotional appeal. He has, in fact, resorted to a statement on Twitter. My colleague Yash Goyal is standing by live from the CNN News 18 newsroom to take stock and also tell our viewers as to what really has Bajrang Punia said. Yes, Yash.
Well, Greha, this is the tweet which has been put out by Bajrang Punia, and in fact, in the beginning also he goes on to say that 28 मई को जो हुआ वह सबने देखा, पुलिस ने हम लोगों के साथ क्या व्यवहार किया. So in fact, he's making an emotional pitch here. In fact, it's a very long statement which has been put out by Bajrang Punia, and in fact, in the second page of this very statement, he goes on to say that ये medal अब हम नहीं चाहते क्योंकि इस, so when in fact here only he says that these medals will be, the wrestlers will go on to, in fact, they will actually go to river Ganga, and in fact आज शाम 6 बजे हम हरिद्वार में अपने medal गंगा में प्रवाहित कर देंगे. So this is the thing they've been saying, that in fact on on Sunday when in fact that Parliament building was being inaugurated, that day only we saw how ruckus broke out at Jantar Mantar, and in fact after that the wrestlers yet again tried to move to Jantar Mantar to protest yet again, but the police officials had maintained that what had happened on that very day, and in fact there were certain sections were also broken by the wrestler, and after that now they are putting out this very statement. And in fact in this statement they also go on to say that once they go to river Ganga, after that they will sit on a protest at India Gate. So this is a very big statement coming in from Bajrang Punia, and in fact this is something which we can say that the wrestlers are refusing to budge at any cost, because on that day also we saw how all the four faces of this wrestlers protest, be it Bajrang Punia, be it Sakshi Malik, Vinesh Fogart or Sangeeta Fogart, all were there during that very march, but no one was allowed to move further from that very point. And after that, the wrestlers also tried to move to Jantar Mantar, but there were security arrangements over there, and in fact, police had maintained that no further permission has been given. Police also gave a statement in which they said that if they want to sit on a dharna, a different place will be allocated to them to continue their protest. But now, with this statement, the big takeaways are that first they will be going to Haridwar to actually give those medal to River Ganga. And in fact, after that, they will yet again come on India Gate to actually start the protest yet again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Yash. A very, very emotional appeal by all the wrestlers. This particular statement's been put out by Bajrang Punia on Twitter, where he is claiming that despite all their efforts, there is no answering the questions that they have put forth. In fact, their protest site has been taken away from them. We are constantly playing out those live visuals where the police is trying their best, not getting the wrestlers to get back to the protest site. We are constantly playing those visuals for our viewers. Let me also bring in my colleague Shivani Gupta, who's joining us on the broadcast. Shivani, we've seen how political parties, especially the members of the opposition, actually rally in support with the wrestlers, because this entire incident escalated on the day when the new parliament building was inaugurated. Now with this threat by the wrestlers, in fact a call which is a very, very dejected one, is there going to be any response that we know of? Shivani, are you there? Okay, we don't seem to have Shivani just yet, but we are putting out those visuals where you can see there is ample police presence, where the wrestlers, I believe, are trying to get back to the protest site. They are where the police is trying on dissuading them, even manhandling them, so that they are not able to get back to protesting at Jantar Mantar. You can see what is happening on your screens. You'd also seen what had happened on the 28th of May, where the wrestlers from Jantar Mantar tried to march to the new parliament building, and all of those were stopped by the Delhi police, and many of those were even detained by the Delhi police. We'd seen dejected calls that had been made by our Olympic medalists, these wrestlers who'd made the country proud back then also, and now their dejection has reached its zenith. We have seen this claim that's been made at 6 p.m. today. They are going to go to Haridwar and they are going to throw their medals in the Ganga.